Welcome everyone to Circle of the Mate podcast. Top 5 picks of the week here for week 46. This is the host of Devious One I see here alongside with my familia, the West Side, the West.
Degeneration West.
Degeneration
Oh,
West.
I just dabbed. I just pulled the TV.
He just dabbed, ladies and gentlemen.
TJP in the house, man. Even though he just lost.
TJP. Alongside with my family, of course, the director, the one and only that tells you, hold up, baby. Keep going. That's what Hollywood blonde style, baby. That's
I'm in Hollywood. Fuck it.
Chris Kevin. That's right. And also he's back. The Calluses from Calluses. He went on a little mini vacation, little mini getaway for Mama Callus, taking out for her birthday. And that is Mr. Matt Callus, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta say, this is a top 5 and not a top 69, if you know what I mean. You know, me and Kenny, 69. We're all about that.
You can say Filipino.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this top 5 of the week for week 46 is this goes out to shout out to Jofo in the Ring podcast, because Frank Jofo chose this to be in the wheel of picks and it landed best Canadian wrestler. So we got to do top 5 best Canadian wrestlers.
He's got me in some hot water right now because he posted a Britt Baker picture of her all bloody, and he posted her backstage clip getting the tack pulled out from last night's Dynamite in that Thunder Rosa. I don't know what people are watching this, but the Thunder Rosa match, and she's backstage all beat up. And I put, holy hell, the new Queen of Extreme. And then he tags Francine. What do you think about that? I'm like, oh no.
Oh.
And I'm like, how do I backtrack? I'm like, you can't replace the original because I'm such a huge Francine fan. So I meant no disrespect to the real Queen of Extreme, Miss Francine. But no, Britt Baker did a great job. And I was like, wow, that's pretty hardcore. But Jofo, you got me. You put me in an awkward position with my idols, man.
There you go. That's right. So remind you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the top 5 best Canadian wrestlers, could be from the past, present, or even the future as well. We already know that Callus here, he only has like one name out of his list. He's like, by God, it's Carino Omega.
But I have a lot more than you'd expect me to have. There's a lot of plans that they're just still unfolding.
This is that next level consciousness, right?
It's all part of it. We know.
All right, so we gotta go to the wheel to see who goes first, ladies and gentlemen. Let me share my screen for a moment. All right, here we go. All right, and it's brought to you by Geico.
Say 50% more in your car insurance.
There you go. And here we go.
Oh, God darn it.
Well, here we are.
Goodness gracious.
El director.
Great googly moogly or whatever you Canadians say.
Googly moogly.
God darn it. Gee golly Walter.
Gosh donkey.
All right.
The coffee just almost came out of my nose. Oh my God. You got to watch the tape. I'm going to go watch the tape on that, dude. That almost came out.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, geez Louise. All right. Let's do this.
All right. The floor is yours.
Dick, man. So this list, it's so many factors comprised of what makes you a great wrestler. And yes, your in-ring ability should be paramount, but there are other characteristics I looked at. I also made sure to pick Canadians that were born in Canada, not Canadian nationals per se, like Brock Lesnar, who now is a Canadian citizen legally. So he doesn't count. I checked the birth dates on some people. Unfortunately, Beth Phoenix was born in New York. She's off the list. So my number, I'm just saying she was going to make the list until I Googled her birth date and shit. And I was like, God damn it, Beth. It disappointed me on that one. Oh shit. I got to take somebody off the list technically because he was also born in New York. Oh my God. Okay, maybe I should bend the rules a little bit. Because my number 2 was born in New York also. Okay. Yeah, he was born in Manasset. God damn it. Jericho.
Yeah, I know.
Jericho's born in New York. All right, whatever. I'll break my own rule. Okay, so Jericho. Okay, all right. Beth Phoenix, you're on the list. You just made the list.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right, number 5. You will never forget where this particular Impact player is from because he reminded you in every promo that he was from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Oh, he got it, Lance fucking Storm. Yes.
Lance
yes.
Storm was the immaculate performer of Canadian wrestling in ECW, and obviously when he came over to the main roster. But in ECW, he was almost anti-hardcore. He was as technical and as sound as they get. One of the last students of the dungeon, I do believe. And just always put the wrestling first. His promos were good and intense, but his wrestling is really what made him heel or not. You respected his damn work ethic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I loved his single leg roll through Boston Crab. He had a great match with RVD that did not end with a finishing move, which I was very impressed by, that they told a really good wrestling story. Yeah, he's awesome. Lance Storm. He's now currently was he a road scout or a trainer for the main roster or something like that?
No, he's a trainer in like a backstage role for WWE.
Right, yeah.
But he's mainly a trainer. I think they let him go because they furloughed him, because of
that
shit.
sucks. That sucks.
But
well, I know Canada also has strict rules where like they were basically like, if you live in Canada and you're not in Canada before we locked the borders, you're not getting in and you're not leaving. I know that's the thing that happened to a lot of Canadian wrestlers. I think when we talked to Gio Galvano, he had an opponent where that's exactly what happened to him. Number 4. Who is my number 4? Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, so he's not as popular as he should be. His in-ring work ethic is definitely as 7-star as Meltzer has always heralded. Doesn't do a lot on the mic, and his merch sales is mostly by proxy with the company that he keeps. But he's absolutely exciting, and I hope he becomes as world famous that he deserves, and that is Kenny Omega.
Oh, by God! By God!
Number 4. You're in for a treat.
I know you're mad that he's number 4. He should be number 1, right, man?
Well, okay, so check the Kenny doesn't really do a lot on the mic.
Still young.
Really,
he's very young still. He has his whole life ahead of him.
He's not yet a household name, and all the merch he sells, they're not Kenny Omega shirts. Those are Bullet Club shirts.
Good point. Valid point.
So those are other factors that I'm bringing into this also. Number 3. He wasn't only the first there was, but he was the best there was, the best there ever will be, and I picked the wrong number. There he is. Bret Hart. The first man to really rep the Canadian flag in a world spotlight. The first technical wrestler to really get over. And he was all around a good guy character. He'd come out, he put the glasses on the kids. They loved him. Super sound in the ring. Didn't really do a lot on the mic, but he had a great look. The pink and black attack was pretty awesome. I love the glasses. Those were always something I always wanted to be that kid in the audience that he put the glasses on ringside.
Oh my God, me too, man. You don't know how bad when I was a kid.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Bret Hart was absolutely the pioneer of Canadian wrestling. I can't think of many people before him who really put Canada on the map, especially since his father, Stu Hart, is solely responsible for like 90% of that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I already spoiled my number 2, but I'll get right down to it. All around, probably the best entertainer in the history of the company, or not the company, of the business.
The Gajote. The
greatest Jericho of all time. He's 50 years old.
50.
Still doing the damn thing. He also listens to criticism and says to criticism.
Especially
he fucked up a moonsault and he got mocked online for it. And NBA players were like saying Jericho still wrestles, he's fat. Come back to next week and puts on a performance of a lifetime, nailing the lion salt.
Hey, what did I say? Hey, he was pretty much talking shit about me then. I kind of clouding on it.
Who, Jericho?
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay, yeah. No one has reinvented themselves more successfully than Jericho. He is always himself, but always evolves the character. He's come up with so many lines and promos and scripts and things that have become part of the wrestling zeitgeist. I can quote, from Rock and Rolla, Ayatollah Rock and Rolla, to You Just Made the List, to Break the Walls Down, to he has so many catchphrases, to Ass Clown was a great one. People don't remember Ass Clown.
I remember that one. I love that one.
Yeah, Jericho is probably pound for pound one of the best in the business when you look at every aspect of being an entertainer. And my number 1, because there are only one rule to this list, and that's to be from Canada and to be a wrestler. My number 1 can very easily destroy everyone else on this list at the same time. It took getting knocked out in 3 minutes in Houston, Texas by Matt Serra for him to become a wrestler. But once he changed his game, he started training with the Canadian Olympic team. He evolved into the greatest mixed martial artist of all time, and therefore the greatest wrestler the UFC has ever seen, and that is George St. Pierre.
Oh my God! Why am I surprised you were gonna add GSP to that shit?
GSP.
Why am I not surprised? But okay, I'll give it to you.
Now, you can say that there are higher credentialed wrestlers in MMA. This is absolutely true because George St. Pierre never wrestled in high school, nor college, nor the Olympics.
Agreed.
But he would beat the shit out of anyone who's ever wrestled inside the octagon. He beat other wrestlers. He out-wrestled and out-submissioned Matt Hughes in all of their rematches. Same with John Fitch. John Fitch, world-class wrestler with tons of titles to his name, smoked him in 5 rounds. Johnny Hendricks was a close one, but he still beat the shit out of Johnny Hendricks. The greatest Canadian wrestler of all time. You can't argue with it because he can literally mess all y'all up at the same time. Sorry about it. I do have two. Joe will get mad at me for that one or love me for that one. That's my answer, bro. I do have 2 honorable mentions, and I got to pay some respect to the women who made this very possible. Okay. And they were very integral in the women's evolution of wrestling, and they just happen to also be Canadian, and that is the wrong buttons to delete. I usually get this going pretty well. I'm sorry about that. Let's go like that. Let's go like that. That's good. Perfect. And we got ourselves Miss Natty Neidhart and Trish Stratus.
Okay.
Whoa.
I love that.
Rock and roll.
Now, they weren't a team or anything like that, unless they were, and I don't know about it. But Trish Stratus came first, and she was not a wrestler. She was a model who got into the wrestling business, who eventually learned to wrestle pretty decently for someone who got into the actual in-ring psychology a little later in her career. She started off as a manager for Test and Albert under TNA, which stood for Tits and Ass, not Test and Albert. That's a little double innuendo for you guys out there.
Very, very. Was that post or pre-Russo?
That was that had to have been 2002, I think. So maybe
post-Russo.
Yeah,
post-Russo, bro.
Yeah. Big stamps in the women's division. Trish Stratus, came before Natty. She did her damn thing, and then she learned to wrestle and had what I consider some decently classic female matches with Lita. And then obviously we know Natty is Jim and Anvil Neidhart, part of the Hart Foundation's actual daughter, trained in the dungeon. Also, I believe one of the last to be in the dungeon. Could be wrong. I think I'm correct about that.
Natty, she was one of the last ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when she does wrestle, she does a great job. When she's not putting a terrible storyline or getting jobbed out to Ronda or farting up a storm, she can wrestle. And I'd like to see her wrestle more. Just like pure wrestling, not gimmicks, not tag. She's in the tag team with, was it Mandy Rose or something like that right now? Natty Neidhart.
No,
she's with Dana Brooke.
She's with Tamina.
Oh, that's right. Well, Tamina's awesome as well. Not Canadian, but that's my list. Best I could do. Let's see if you can beat it.
Oh, okay. That's all right. I like it.
Yeah, Joe Fo's gonna have some opinions. I'm not sure if they're gonna be great.
I cannot wait for his comments when he sees this. All right, now let's go back to the wheel and let's see who's next. Mike messaged his pick, so look at that list.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who is at number 4? I can't wait to see what the fuck that is.
Mm-hmm. All right,
because the only TJ I know is from Redondo Beach.
It's me.
What's up, big dog?
It's me. It's Ivan.
Not
C.
DDP.
No. It is the.
It's Ivan C.
The Ivan of the table.
Okay. Oh, next level consciousness. There you go.
Next level.
All right.
Very true.
Remind you, these are individuals that are from Canada. Okay. And also, these individuals actually created a pathway and made a name for themselves coming from Canada to the States and became, most iconics in a professional wrestling industry. So my number 5, that is Rick Martel. He is from Minnesota, Canada. He's from there.
Yep.
He's Canadian. He's full-blooded Canadian. He made a name for himself, teaming up with Tito Santana, being the Strikeforce, going solo, having the character, the Rick Martel character with little what is it, like a little perfume squeeze? But I love
well, before that he was in Strikeforce, right? Was that
yeah. Before that,
he made his bigger name, unfortunately, as that.
Well, he made his name as a Strikeforce, but he made his name more as a heel when he turned heel.
Yeah, which he did the best he could with that character.
Yeah, and he was a great wrestler too, man. A great in-ring skills. I like to see his matches with Jake were incredible. I liked them. Even with Tito as well. So he had great matches, definitely. Number 4, you mentioned her. Yeah, Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus is from Toronto, from Toronto, Canada.
It's time to rock and roll.
And yes, how you put it on, like, I don't need to add nothing what you said, Chris. You put it right on point. She was a fitness model, and it just ended up becoming, taking it seriously and took the sport very, very seriously and transitioned into it being a 7-time women's champion. So, I mean, of course, you got to give it to Trish Stratus. All right. Number 3, and that is glorious, baby. Robert Roode.
Nice. That's very off center. I love that.
I love Robert Roode. He was a pinnacle for a TNA and Impact for sure. And he made a name for himself there as well. A former Impact World Champion as well. Former NXT World Champion. A former US Champion. So, I mean, definitely Robert Roode, even for his age, could go. And that's why even Paul Levesque even said that Robert Roode reminds him of himself.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, they look like little brother. Or younger brother. Well,
you could say, yeah, but Robert Roode for his age is still going. Man, I give kudos to that man, and I loved his matches. I loved his, with him and Team Canada. So I loved that faction back in the days in TNA. That was like, oh man, I loved it. It was incredible.
Yeah, Robert Roode's a little bit older than I thought. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He still got it. Yeah, he still got it.
That means he was NXT heavyweight champion just at like 40.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Age is only a number, baby. Age is only a number. Number 2, just want to give everybody the heads up. This is in professional wrestling, not the outside of it. Okay? I know I might get heated for this. I did say it on this past Friday.
I've already broken that fourth wall. I broke that ring wall.
But I'm breaking that fourth wall, who I'm going to mention. And whether you like it or not, he was one of the greatest in the ring professionally at matches of the year. And even though we know the tragic part, but that's going to be
Jesus Christ. I feel you, man. Just do what you got to do. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not talking about the personal side. I'm talking about
I understand.
The professional side. And that's something that he was awesome. Had the greatest match of the year with Kurt Angle 2003 Royal Rumble. Great WrestleMania 20 moment was he winning the World Championship. Even just great 7 series matches with Booker T for the U.S. title. This man had it all, and he put his body into he gave it all. And even though, like I said, I'm only talking about in the ring. So that's why
when we were fans of his, up until the thing that happened, nobody knew. You don't know. It's not our fault. We were fans of his before it happened.
Right.
Absolutely. So I mean, it's a line to walk, and I understand where you're going with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not. You don't have to ask my permission to make your list. So, but people know what we're talking about. And,
yeah. Exactly. And numero uno, you said it earlier, but I'm saying the whole Hart family.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jeter also.
No,
sweet. I was like, oh shit.
The whole Hart family.
The whole Hart family.
No,
Bruce,
it's true.
Mary, Stu,
everybody, Smith, Drew, Bruce,
even Teddy,
Owen, Teddy, everyone in the Hart family.
Yeah,
Harry.
Because of Stu, like how you said earlier, he built that foundation and developed and transitioned, having these incredible phenomenons, Canadian wrestlers that we know back when we know our team as child, when we were kids, when we were teenagers. I mean, before his last breath, Stu, before he left the world. I mean, he brought a lot of people to the game.
He was the Elio Gracie of pro wrestling.
Oh my, yes, he was.
All of
if Bret Hart was Hoist, Stu was Elio, and the ripples that started in that legendary dungeon are going to be felt forever in this sport.
Yeah, Chris, you're talking about MMA and the Stu Hart's dungeon. Remember, those two worlds collided when Ken Shamrock faced Owen Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that dungeon match,
not only that,
like No Mercy, like 1998 or something like that.
Lions Den and the dungeon.
But rumor your window was that Ken stepped up to Stu, and Stu pretty much put him to sleep. Like, here, let me show you how to do this. Ow! Shamrock was like, that's why Shamrock loved that storyline with Owen, because it was just very perfect. It made a lot of sense because you're taking the MMA style of Shamrock's versus Stu Hart's shoot wrestling style, because he was a shoot wrestler. So I mean, that combination there was incredible.
That's why Stu had a legit, like, not just pro wrestling scripted, choreographed wrestling background. He was a fighter. Like, and I don't mean MMA fighter. He was a fighter in the carnal sense of when you had to fight, to survive, not just, in an octagon or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Way pre MMA.
And because of his knowledge of his skills that he gave to his sons, and their sons gave to others, they made history within their own careers, their own different paths.
Yeah, there's still people. Davey Boy Smith Jr. is he's is that his name? Which is his real name?
Yeah,
but he goes by Davey Smith Jr. Right?
Yeah. He goes by Davey,
yeah. Like him, I think maybe Brian Pillman Jr. might be kind of in that same wavelength.
I think he trained. He went to the dungeon.
Yeah, the ripples are there's still people being trained. I think I don't know if it's at the dungeon.
No, not a dungeon.
Of the dungeon, the wave, the style, it's still being passed down.
Yeah, I guess you could say that because I mean TJ. Honestly, the ones who were the last ones were TJ, Harry.
Who's the TJ you're saying? Are you Tyson Kidd?
Tyson Kidd.
Okay. I was like TJ Perkins is Canadian. I'm like, he's a Cali boy.
But no, TJ Wilson, because they were the last one. And remind you also, TJ took the knowledge and he's training people as well. Him and Natty, they're doing the same thing. What do you think? A lot of the stars now, like Lana and Liv Morgan, they all go to her, and even to Tyson, even to TJ, they're learning. And as they learn, Jesus, I love it. Touche, honestly. All right, my honorable mentions. One honorable mention I'm going to give is Steve Carino.
Love it.
He is Canadian, first of all. Steve Carino, a former Ring of Honor World Champion, former ECW as well. So, I mean, Carino, man, I loved his style. I loved him in Ring of Honor especially. I enjoyed it very much. Carino is like one of the underdogs that should be known, like, as a Canadian pro wrestler. Man, he was a phenomenal in-ring performance, and his character was the shit. I loved it.
I did love his ECW. Like, he came late in the ECW original era, but he would like come out with a chair and act like he was about to beat the shit out of someone with a chair, and then just put the chair down and sit in it and let the people boo him for like 2 to 3 minutes and be like, I don't need a chair. I'm a real wrestler, and just get heat. Just straight heat.
That's why I love it.
With that hungry, that blood-hungry ECW crowd who wanted blood, guts, and chairs, he refused for the longest time. I think there was even a storyline where, like, I think he was feuding with Tommy Dreamer, and Tommy Dreamer was trying to trick him into using a weapon, and he just would not fall for it. And yeah, like, it was a very clever storyline for a guy who was really good on the mic.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to break the barrier on this one. I'm going to add another honorable mentions because that maybe means I'm going to have 3.
That's all.
I forgot about one. The second one is he was great back in the past, and I'm pretty sure, Chris, you and I, we may remember him back in WWF. We've seen a lot of people wear yellow tights, but this guy's always
Give me a hint.
He always had like a little tiny mullet, like square hair, blonde.
Ricky Morton?
No, Ronnie Garvin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was close.
Yeah, you were close. Yeah, Ronnie Garvin. That was another one. He's from Quebec, from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. That's another guy that is underrated as a Canadian wrestler. He had fucking badass matches with Valentine, with Hercules, man, I could go back and YouTube his shit and be like, oh shit, this motherfucker did actually can wrestle. Yeah, oh man, he was an incredible wrestler.
God,
I gotta give it to him. But it sucks that he was not recognized. He should be, recognized in the industry as well. Another person that people forgot about that, man, this guy revolutionized and was the first ever Canadian to know his own, knowing a little bit of French, learning Spanish and English, and that is none other than
Mountie?
Vampiro.
Vampiro. I love Vampiro, bro.
Vampiro is another one.
He repped the Mexican flag very proudly, but his heritage, his heritage
is Canadian.
And nationality are two different things. You could be, your parents could be, from a country, but you grew up in another country, and you can rep both of them fairly. Yeah. So yeah, for sure. Go ahead. Yeah,
Vampiro, man. You're like you said it. I mean, this guy has gone to wrestle in Canada, wrestle in Mexico, mainly in Mexico, WCW here in the States. He did wrestle inside the X. He did, he's done a lot of things in the industry, and I have to give it to him for for being from Canada. So I mean, he did it right, and knowing he gets the 3 languages besides English, Spanish, and French. So now that's tremendous for me. I mean, shit, gotta give it to him. So that's my honorable mentions in my top 5. Back to the wheel. Let's see who goes last, because someone has to read Mike top 5. So let me see. All right, here we go. Don't forget to get 40% off on spring vacation, ladies and gentlemen.
Marcelo.com.
Yes.
Dude, fuck. Where's that sponsorship money at, bro? We got like 5,000 episodes.
Matt Callis.
Thank God I wasn't about to smoke a dart here.
I was just watching something. It was I was watching a promo. I forget what it was, and I could hear it might have been Kristen Cage in his promo. I could hear the accent. I'm like, God damn it. But yeah, go for it.
Definitely very recently, of course, like I said, this isn't a list of 69 names, of course.
Every time you have drinking coffee, you say that, dude. Stop.
Of course, you surprised you're laughing because you're above the level of consciousness we are in previously, of course. Now, number 5 will be a boy from the greatest city in the world, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Actually, of number 5 is Chris Jericho, right here. He's still the kid I met in the back of that bus when we were riding to Calgary. It's never changed, Chris. You know how things always are. Number 4, Owen Hart. Owen Hart's number 4. As great as he is, he could be number 1. Any of these guys could be number 1. That's how great they are. They're definitely legends. And Owen Hart, forget all the aerobatics. He's not remembered enough for all the great acrobatic moves he could do. Chris Jericho always observed Owen Hart and thought about all the stuff he wished he could do that Owen Hart could do. Stampede Wrestling, we've been mentioning them a lot tonight. Number 3, best there was, best there is, best there ever will be, Bret Hart is my number 3 pick. No matter what name the move goes by, sharpshooter, sasori gatame, scorpion deathlock, it's still, to me, it's a beautiful move. I love watching it being applied, And now somebody today, the god of professional wrestling, is actually my number 2. He's not my number 1, surprisingly enough.
I am going to have a, no pun intended, heart attack.
Really?
I was about to drop my beer. I'm like, what? Yeah. You're not putting Kenny Omega as number 1?
I'm not putting Kenny Omega as number 1 because
I will be in shock.
Interesting. Yeah. I'll do the Pai Mei thing.
As great as Kenny Omega is, I gotta show love.
Kenny Omega.
Kenny, by God, Omega, a wrestling god, amongst insects. No, but number 1, I really have to give credit to the man who says it's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
Roddy Piper.
It's Roddy.
Yeah, I feel you there.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Roddy. You know, because you wouldn't get a better heel. And in addition to that, you know, we're talking about wrestlers who sing like wrestlers like Chris Jericho and Maki Ito who have a singing career, who are both, you know, put out music. Let's not forget Roddy Piper is both an amazing actor and an amazing singer. He put out a song that was almost like a teenage Elvis rock and roll 1950s song. Roddy Piper is a damn good singer, and if he was alive,
Jimmy Hart write that for him?
What?
Did Jimmy Hart write that for him? What's the name of that song?
I don't know.
I always have Google up during these in case I need to get some info, so I'll figure it out.
Yeah, he has a music video for it too, where he's singing in a pool. Yeah,
oh God,
where he's singing in a pool hall, and he's like, "I'm not your lover boy" or something like that. It was
that's Shawn Michaels.
No, lover boy, lover boy.
Okay.
Your little lover boy.
It's called "I'm Your Man." I found it. Holy
Yep.
shit!
Hey,
Wow.
send me that link. I need to see that shit.
Yeah, Roddy.
I gotta hit mute before YouTube strikes us, but I got it right here.
Yeah, Roddy's amazing.
It looks almost as bad as "Party All Night Long" by Eddie Murphy.
Hey, you know what? That song was not bad.
I love that song too.
No,
I love both of those songs.
James wrote that song. It's a good song. It's just
Yeah.
It's party all the time. Party all
Oh, you gotta hurt me. What a boy could do.
Who wrote this?
But yeah, Roddy Piper rocks as a singer. Like if he was alive today, if he was still with us, I'd love to hear him sing that song to the ring. You know, like Jarrett, like people sing Judas, people sing Brooklyn the Hole with Maki Ito, and hopefully she sings Setsunairo. But Roddy Piper, maybe he could sing this one. I'd be happy with this as his theme instead of the Scottish. That's a Scottish classical saxophone piece, and there's quite a number of Scottish people living in Canada, so you know it's a bit of both. I've got a pretty fun honorable mentions list.
Nice.
All right.
And I've actually put myself, Don Callis, as number 2 on honorable mentions. The Jackal, of course.
I love the Jackal.
All the possibilities, you know. Cyrus the Virus, the Jackal, and myself, Don Callis, you know, here at Impact. You know, I mean, I gotta say to you, Tony Khan, welcome to the wrestling business, kid. Ha ha ha. Being a manipulative carny, and I actually wear that as a proud badge, is what I'll say. But number 1 for honorable mentions, very underrated, of course, PCO.
Oh, that's right.
Nice. He's still doing it too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. PCO is my number 1 honorable mention, and he definitely deserves love and mention anytime he's brought up. Amazing. Love his moonsault. Love his clothesline. Fix my arm, you know. The Frankenstein. French Canadian Frankenstein. We love it. But yeah, that's my list.
Gotta give it to him.
That's a list of next level consciousness.
There's so many, man. But yeah, I guess director, if you could do his honors, you can read Mike's top 5.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Appreciate it.
I got it right here. Okay, let's go backward. Okay, number 5. Okay, got it. So Mike, the greatest Latino from in the history of not Ivan.
It happens.
You know, you guys share that title. Number 5, he's got Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I don't want to speak on behalf of Mike, but one half of the Hart Foundation, and he definitely cut his teeth as part of a tag team. Didn't do a whole lot of singles in his career, but the Hart Foundation were definitely the iconic tag team in the early 90s. Number 4, he has TJ, which I'm assuming is Tyson Kidd,
Yes.
who was on his way to a bright future. Great tag team with Cesaro. Unfortunately, he took that muscle buster, which anything can happen in the ring. No hard feelings. I know that he's spoken openly about, you know, it is the name of the game. Number 3, fitting enough, is TJ's wife, Natalia Neidhart, which is number 5's daughter. You know, she came from the same stock the rest of them came from, the Hart Foundation. Okay, so basically everyone on this list is from the dungeon. So number 2 is number 2 is one of her many uncles, and that is the beautiful Owen Hart, who just was a bright shining star that's light got put out way too soon. God rest his soul, man. Just he was just on his way. He just never had that main event spotlight on a major pay-per-view. He was just always Euro or Intercontinental champion at best. Always in his brother's spotlight. He beat him that one time, and that was pretty much it. And then obviously number one, he's got Bret Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Mm-hmm.
Put Canadian wrestling on the map. Dare I say, he put small men on the map as well. He was a single star before Sean was, and they kind of came up as the two sides of the same coin in the early 90s Next Generation era, where Vince was ready and willing to experiment with talent that wasn't 6'5", golden, orange, and red attacks. You know, he was not trying to build more Ultimate Warriors and Hulk Hogan's.
Lex Luger's,
which was unfortunately, it's not Lex's fault, was a failed Hogan replacement. He finally came around to the 6-footers under 200 pounds. I guess Bret might have been pushing 220 at his max. But put technical wrestling on the map and proved that it was in-ring psychology that mattered more than big veiny spandex. Again, I'm not trying to impose my thoughts on what Mike was saying. I'm sure he shares the same sentiments, but that is his list. He does not have any honorable mentions. Actually, now that I scroll down, he does say take out Neidhart and replace it with Jericho. So we'll just add Jericho to the list. What's to be said about Jericho that we haven't said already?
From Winnipeg.
The Cajote.
Yeah, Jericho's constantly just entertaining. He doesn't slow down. He doesn't cut any corners. He never gets lazy on the mic. He never
Putting Winnipeg on the map.
One thing that can be said about Jericho is he is not afraid to put over younger talent on his name. He will let people use his name to build them up, and I truly love that about him. A lot of people in his position, John Cena, would never do that, not Kevin Owens. So yeah, Jericho himself is definitely a great platform for building talent within a division.
Well, I mean, okay, you mentioned Kevin Owens, so that's another one we have to see. There's a lot of names, a lot of
have this conversation in 5 years. Owens will be on the list.
Oh, definitely he will be. I mean, also Sammy. Sammy's another one.
Yeah, same thing. We are watching future legends right now.
Yeah, they're going to be future legends for sure within the next 5 years. That's a fact. And then, we're going to have future stars, especially, our brother from another mother, that's like the Black Dynamite, Jeremy Prophet. He's going to be another one right there who's going to make it. And also, you got other ones. You still got Mike Speedball Bailey, another one from, it's just so many talent that I agree with Jeremy what he said. There's so much in Canada that people are not too familiar with, even to this present day, even ourselves, and we're including ourselves as well. I mean, we did not know about this until we met Jeremy. Let us know what's going on, what's the ordeal in the borderlines, and I'm supportive of him 100%. I'm hoping that they open those borderlines already, allow these Canadian talents to come to the States, work at that stuff, get their names recognized.
I mean, yeah. Now that you say it, I mean, like Stampede Wrestling has done so much for the business, right? They're Canadian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. And if we can just add a promotion to the list, they have the ones that are cultivating this beautiful catalog of wrestlers. Without Stampede, you wouldn't have these guys cutting their teeth to earn their spots down south. So yeah, shout out to Stampede Wrestling, which is the biggest door any of these wrestlers could have. At least in their time. I don't know if they're still around.
No.
Yeah,
owns the whole thing already.
Yeah.
He owns the library. I mean, there's still a couple out there in Canada, but remind you, they're on lockdown. They can't do anything.
Yeah. So if you're in Canada right now, I think you're stuck there. It's not stuck. That says it's not a great place, but you don't have extended opportunities internationally.
No. And that's the unfortunate part that they don't have that platform that they need, because believe me, of what I've seen by far, what Jeremy has forward, and what Jeremy has mentioned, definitely they have tremendous, fantastic talents out there that needs to be exposed and needs to have their opportunity time here in the States and get their piece of the pie, man. They need to get fed to their table. So I mean, I'm wishing the best for all of them. Definitely. I don't know, for Jeremy, keep fighting for you, Jeremy. So you're watching this, keep fighting for you, brother, no matter what. Now let's go to the wheel for what's going to be next week's top 5 for 47. Let's find that out. Woo! All right, here we go. Spin that wheel.
Oh my God, there's so many on this list. Holy shit, I'm excited. Oh,
Pretty
from Canada to the other side of the world.
What a coincidence. Asian
I love
wrestling.
it. Hell yeah.
Wow.
We have an entire continent, baby.
Oh yeah. Canada's one country. Asia is more than that.
And that
I gotta
includes India and the Middle East.
And some of Russia, because Russia's technically.
Yep.
Is this correct?
Siberia, the Siberian half.
Yeah,
like,
Do you want to? Okay,
it's called Eurasia.
All right. So you pretty much what Asia? So you want to include that as well, or you want?
No, just anyone who's in Asia. So like born in Asia. So whatever is considered.
Yeah, born in Asia. Born in Asia.
Considered Asia is Asian.
It's an entire continent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, Singapore, Philippines, Japan, China, Korea. Either one of the Koreas.
Australia is called Oceania. That's the name of that continent. Australia isn't Asia, and neither is New Zealand. Nope. That continent's called Oceania.
But technically, a lot of Polynesia is Polynesia. It's multiple islands within either both Eurasia or not Eurasia, Oceania and Asia.
Indonesia and Malaysia. Indonesia and Malaysia are part of Asia.
Yeah, so like Hawaii wouldn't count, but Guam would.
But not Anastasia.
Anastasia. That's
not
Russia.
Anastasia. Indonesia and Malaysia are part of Asia, but not Anastasia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Borneo used to be Myanmar.
No.
Or the other way around?
Did you make that joke, Chris? On
No, it's the other way around, right?
Burma
is. I say Borneo.
Myanmar.
He says it's not Borneo.
Borneo's in Indonesia.
It's close. They're close. They're down there. They're the same sort of. If I threw a dart on the map, I wouldn't lose that many points.
All right, let's.
Well, yeah, there you go. You have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and if you guys are mad that Edge didn't make the list, leave a comment down below. Hit that like button.
Edge.
Or Christian,
Edge got born on an airplane going around the world. Yeah,
I think that actually happened. No, I'm kidding.
It's happened to some kids out there. People.
But
some people are born on airplanes.
Oh yeah. Definitely, but no, yeah. So there you have it. So next week is top 5 is Asian wrestlers. I was going the other route. Don't forget, I'm part of it too. I'm my great grandmother. She's part Chinese. So yes,
very nice.
I have these eyes for a reason. Another thing I wanted to just very briefly comment. Stop the hate, motherfuckers. Stop the fucking hate. I'm sorry.
My sister, Matt knows this. Matt knows my sister. My sister is half Korean. No joke.
Very true.
And I worry every day. Every single fucking day. Like she only lives 10 blocks away from me. And I hate having to worry about it. It's unfair. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
No.
It's fear projected into violence, and it doesn't make any sense. We're all on this planet suffering through something together. And if we can look at it that way instead of trying to find enemies out of fear, I don't think that's ever going to change, unfortunately, but we can do our best to just help protect those we love and even those we don't love, just because we're all humans here on the same planet. I mean, I honestly think the Earth needs a flag, and where you're born doesn't dictate anything about who you are. It's who you are that matters, and that's basically my little after-school special speech I got for you, because it literally comes from the heart. Like, mi familia, my blood is Asian. Not my blood, but my half-sister who shares my blood with me.
Right. I get you. You preach it very well, but also wanted to add to that, at the end of the day, we're all the same, regardless of color, ethnicity, anything, we're all the same. So we need to stop doing these hate crimes, ladies and gentlemen. People out there that are watching this, make sure you stop all these hate crimes, all these ethnicity hate crimes. We're all the same human beings. We've gone through over a year of a global pandemic that shut a lot of people down. Poverty was at stake all over the world. So I mean, this is now we're trying to rebuild it again and get back to normal. We don't need this type of normal shit. We need to stop with that. We can go ahead and move forward with that. We're supposed to be uniting together and move forward, beating this pandemic that is keeping us to live our normal human lives. So make sure despite that cost. It's the hardest thing in this
I'll say, as nephew of the second ever Filipino mayor in the United States, Antonio Cartagena, as his nephew, Matthew Cartagena, here speaking from the Cartagena family. Protect yourselves, stay vigilant, protect your community, neighborhood watch, all that great stuff. But yeah, overall, protect yourselves, everybody, and keep watch of everybody. So, and protect your community.
That's where I'm going to be doing right now. I'm going to K-Town, protect my community over there in K-Town. That's my hood. That's my lottery
right there.
that's my hood lottery right there. Beside my mom's house is K-Town. So that's and here right now. But yes, thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. And I'm hoping, yes, we did get serious for a little minute because the fact is there's all this situation going on. Even though it's off the subject of pro wrestling. But, we wanted to give a reminder, refresher for everyone.
We have a lot of Asian pro wrestlers.
Exactly as well. I want to remind you of that. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Do not forget also, I hope you guys enjoyed the Just an Incredible interview that happened this yesterday, Saturday. So, and don't forget this Tuesday, we'll be having the GSW Next Gen Champion, Jill Galvano, coming out this Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we will be having the UFC MMA episode coming out. We should give them the predictions of the upcoming event, UFC 260. Am I correct? 260, right? CK1 260.
What's happening on 216?
No, 260, right? It's 260.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was for some reason, I thought you were trying to say 316 day because it just happened 4 days prior to this video. Yes, UFC 260. The rematch between Francis Ngannou and Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title. Super excited about that one. I can't wait to do the reviews with that. I'm going to take that title from Alex Maris, and he is going down, brother.
And there you have it. So make sure you tune in. And also don't forget for our next episode as well, we'll give the recap. We'll have an NWA Split Review, also with New Japan, also with the Fastlane. And we'll let you know more and more coming. More news are coming up soon. So once again, thanks so much. The host Steve is what I would see. Here con el director, the director that wants everything perfectly nice and everything.
Oh man, I was not that guy. Was I that guy? Was I a dick director or was I a nice guy?
You were a good director.
All right. Cool. That's what I want. I just want to be nice and fair. I don't want to be
Steven Spielberg of fucking filming, bro. Steven Spielberg right here.
Sick.
Or Michael Bay, I want to say.
Oh no, I'll go back to Spielberg. I'll take Spielberg over. Thank you. Thank you.
You didn't like Transformers, did you?
Yeah, and Ivan, I'll go out on a limb here and I'll say, since we talked about Wrestling Guy store, the store I visited recently, Republic of Lucha, pay them a visit.
Oh yeah, that's a good one, man. That's
let's see if we can build our relationship with them soon.
There you go.
We can. In Pasadena, over in Pasadena, pay that a visit.
I think I actually have the address up, but we'll get to that later. That's a good avenue to pursue, though, for sure.
Absolutely. So, yes. And also, we have the callous of all calluses, Don Natalis. Let the people know. Let them know.
It's we don't just make a podcast here. We make history.
And there you have it. Thank you so much.